Let's see how this goes. First of all, welcome everybody from YouTube, from LinkedIn, from Instagram, from all of these wonderful social media places. Super happy to kick off the Get Started with Quest and Presence platform with Winston from Meta, which is super cool to have you here as well. And also Jad and Ashray from Immersive Insiders. Hello guys. Let me see. I will wait for a few seconds for Flavio, our editor and moderator, to see if we are getting some live views and stuff like this. Oh yeah, awesome. So LinkedIn works. While we are doing some tech checks, guys, please let us know where are you guys from where are you watching. I think it should be 10 a.m. in US, at least on the West Coast right now. It is 6 p.m. in Germany, and it should be pretty late in India or in Asia, so I think 10:30 or something like this. Where are you guys from? Let us know. And yeah, Flavio, I think you can also throw in the chat later on when you see some activity, so we can kind of like engage with the community at the same time a little bit. And while we do that, Winston, if you want, you can give a quick introduction about you, about what you do at Meta, and how we do this live stream and everything.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds great. And I'm seeing Stockholm and Austria so far, so it's
nice.
I'm Winston. I'm a product manager at Meta. I work on the Presence platform. Recently, I've been focused on like working with developers to see what kind of experiences you can create when using all of our different capabilities together. So we're coordinating a number of events with developers. We're really focused on working with them on how to best use our capabilities. And we have a lot of exciting events coming up, like the online hackathon, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. So nice to meet everyone on the call. India, Toronto, cool. Good stuff. I'll pass it to Jad.
Hi guys, I'm a game developer and also an XR developer. A couple years back, I was in my game studies and decided to delve into VR, and I fell in love with it. So I took a program that delved even more into VR, and that's where I met Dinesh and Ashray, who were my teachers. And after that, well, I reached out to them because I was super interested, and now I am part of the team teaching you guys about different ways that you can create XR applications. So that's me. Ashray, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Ashray. Please excuse me for my bad throat, but so I'm an XR developer here at Immersive Insiders, and I've been doing this for about 3 years now. And a fun fact: before this, I was a mechanical engineer, and I shifted to the XR field, and I fell in love with it, just like Jad. And what I can say is that now is the right time to switch because things are so much easier with AI and all the community help that you can get and all the SDKs that are coming out. It's so much simpler for you guys to switch it and do it. So yeah, so that's what I do here at Immersive Insiders.
Cool. Wonderful. Since you are watching the stream on my side, I think you guys know me, but my name is Dinesh. I am in the XR field since 7-8 years now, founder and CEO of Immersive Insiders, and really happy also to have a good collaboration relationship with Meta for a few years now. And guys, there's so much cool stuff happening. I'm super excited about this. So let's get this started. Let me just share a small presentation. There we go. So get started with Quest and Presence platform. In this hangout, we want to talk about some of the amazing capabilities that we have with Presence platform now and how it simplifies a lot of the workflows. Everybody who has been in this field for a couple of years knows how painful it was a few years ago just to get a freaking build. HoloLens on the early days, still having some PTSD from HoloLens builds, but now again things are getting so much easier, so much more convenient. And the rough overview is we'll talk about Presence platform in general. We will have some big announcements, and then later on at the end, we also want to have a Q&A session to make it a bit more two-way and not like a lecture, basically. We had a introduction already, so I think also Winston will give it to you to have a quick overview on Presence Platform.
Cool, appreciate it, Dinesh. So just to set context really quickly, end of last year we launched the Quest 3 device, which was a super exciting moment for the XR space. It really built on a lot of the best parts of Quest 2 from a performance standpoint and capability standpoint, but more than anything, it also like unleashed this entirely new playground for developers with mixed reality. And so, as it's launched, what we've seen is a number of really cool mixed reality apps and concepts emerge. When developers build these applications, they're using Meta's Presence Platform. And Presence Platform is a suite of different capabilities that we believe will help you build the next generation of Quest experiences. There's a few different categories of them. The way we have it bucketed below are, one, it's mixed reality. So it's things like pass-through, scene, anchors, shared spatial anchors, things that allow virtual experiences to kind of coexist and interact with the world around you. Natural social presence, so things like body tracking with our movement SDK or hand tracking that improve the realism of your social interactions with people in headset. And then our interaction SDK, which allows you to use hands as input, which is really cool when you think about grabbing a virtual object, or even multimodal touch, where you can use a controller, but you can also use a hand for certain experiences. And I know Jod's going to show off some cool ones that they've built in the video that follows this. So, there's a number of other capabilities that are included within this, like the haptics SDK, which allows you to configure better haptic feedback for virtual experiences, or audio SDK or voice SDK. But basically, we want to ensure that developers have all of the capabilities they need to build what they want to build, that they feel like is creative and compelling with Quest. And because Quest 3 just launched, it's like very early days for all of this. I think with Presence Platform plus Quest 3 plus a number of tools that we've invested in, like building blocks, which allow you to basically just drag and drop these capabilities within the Unity editor and have them live within your experience and work seamlessly. It's a great time to be a mixed reality developer. I will pause here. Jod, Ashray, do you guys want to show your video of some of the cool things that you've built with Presence Platform?
Yes, let's show a cool video.
Let's do that.
Cool. Man, it's crazy to see how many things you guys have built over. I mean, that's the span of a few months. It's not like years. It's like all of the updated things. I think we have like 50 other projects. But that is super, super cool. Maybe Ashray Jod, you can give some comments on some of these experiences that you guys have built with Presence Platform.
Yes, Dinesh, it's nice to point out that all of these experiences were easy to make. They didn't take us long to create. And the best thing is that these tools with the Presence Platform now, all of the SDKs that are included, will allow us to create these much faster and will allow it to be accessible to even the beginner developers who are just jumping into XR development. So as you can see, we have now these couple projects. Some of them we created and some others. For example, this one where you saw a camera taking a picture of this bug in the tree. That project called Critters was created by some of my students. Actually, right now I'm teaching a course, and my amazing students created this project and proceeded to win an award with that project. So it's crazy how fast you can learn these things. These students were able to learn all of these tools in just 2 weeks, only 2 weeks, and were able to
2
create
weeks,
that
guys.
product. So that's crazy, just to imagine that.
Yeah, I think if you saw the last experience of multimodal where you have archery with bow and arrow, that's
That's my
actually
favorite one.
just yeah, that's like a modification from the example scene. It's that easy. So in the example scene, we have like caterpillar and you just shoot it. So we just modify that and convert it into bow and arrow. So with all the SDKs that you have, with all the example scene that you get, building something like this is really easy and really simple. So it's not going to take us that much time as it used to take us before. I think this came out from version 60 onwards. From then onwards, our life has been so much easier. And, and I'm so grateful for that.
Cool. I think that leads us also to the first announcement or to the next part. Let's see. The
First big
Quest
announcement.
Presence Platform Hackathon.
Yeah, cool. So, continuing with what we were just talking about, we really want to find ways where we can create opportunities for the developer community to use all of the things that we've been building on our side over the course of the past few years. And so, in partnership with Immersive Insiders and Dinesh and Jod and Ashrai and others, we are, and with DevPost, of course, we're launching an online hackathon starting March 25th. And it will last until May 13th. And developers can work on teams or work by themselves and build different applications and concepts using Presence Platform, and then submit them to earn there's going to be more than $30,000 available in prizes. And it will also get you an opportunity to kind of build a relationship with us and apply to our Oculus Start community, and also be eligible for some of the funding programs that are available to folks within Start. So cool opportunity, very easy to enroll. As Jod and Ashrai have mentioned, given some of the things that are out now, it should be very easy to get started building. And we did want to direct folks into certain categories that we feel like have really good potential for mixed reality, for hands, and for some of the other things we're building. There's three categories we have within the competition, and we're going to have a winner from each of these categories. Casual or social gaming, hobbies and skill building, and then utility and design. These are categories where we're beginning to see concepts that users are engaging with quite frequently on Quest in mixed reality and with hands. So we're taking the signal that we're seeing from the most successful developers today, and we're trying to see what else there is, what other concepts are similar to the ones that have been successful in these categories. Dinesh, Jod, Ashrai, how do you guys feel about these categories? Are we missing anything?
I think it's a pretty good start. I really like the fact that you are also pushing the vision of showing that XR is much more than just gaming. I think that is like something I'm like hammering on. I really try to build awareness on this, that you can use these technologies for so many more things like hobby, skill building, utility design, training, enterprise. Like there's like a wide range of use cases. And having those as incentivization, like really giving them as categories in a hackathon is really, really cool, because then people get more creative, or they get incentivized to build something that is also useful next to fun and entertaining. So I think it's super, super nice to push in that direction also.
Yeah, I think people now already are getting to understand how XR can benefit not just the gaming scene. It's way bigger, and it's going into marketing. It's going into utility, as we see here, skill building, and all of that. All of these categories are really on point, I think.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think slowly people are I think mostly on LinkedIn I've seen people make a visual creation of what they think might be in the future, and all of them are mostly utility apps. It could be like augmenting something like a brain for brain surgery and things like that, you know. So it's going. I saw even a cool thing that I want to build probably in the future, like an F1 track and a race, and you have the F1 going on, and the cars are augmented in front of you and going. So people are moving. I think I would agree with Dinesh and Jan that these are the categories to be mainly focusing on.
Absolutely. And the cool thing is, again, the hackathon is live already, so you can apply or you can join the hackathon. There's a fancy QR code coming. And we will also post the link of that in the comments or in the description, whatever it is below. So that is also something that you can check out. And yeah, I think then we can kind of like dive a bit deeper into some of these use cases. I think also here it's really cool because we at Immersive Insiders, we have gathered experiences in each of these categories, so we can talk about them. And for the first one, I would say Ashra and Jad, you guys can start. Or Winston, do you want to introduce anything here?
No, I mean, maybe just teeing it up, like for mixed reality, I think one of the best parts of it is you can still have the awareness of the world around you. And so for things like casual games where you may want to be doing it while also seeing your surroundings, or it's a little bit less immersive in nature, those games have been really successful. So you've got Cubism as an example, which is showcased in the top left. But other things like tabletop games like Demio, or even Lego Brick Tales, things that you can basically play with on top of the table while not being completely shut off from the world, can be a really fun experience. Or even when you create virtual experiences from real life games like ping pong, playing a social game like ping pong with a friend, where
It's a lot of fun, actually.
it is a lot of fun. We should play at some point soon. Or poker's another good example. But I think we just want to see what folks come up with in this category of like, what are the tabletop games you enjoy that could be completely transformed in MR? Or what are these like casual games that you think could be completely kind of like redefined by using Presence Platform? I'll pass to you guys. John, Ashray?
Yeah, I think my dream casual game, board game, would be something like a remake of Jumanji, wherein things just come out of life and it fills a room with animals and plants and stuff like that. But yeah, I think with Presence Platform, now that we have passed through, you can see almost everything that's around you. So you have spatial awareness. And with the scene anchors, you can make sure that almost all your virtual objects are placed at one point, and you can do the sharing as well using networking and stuff like that, so that the other person can be sitting in front of you and it seems like they're actually there.
And we have
So
tutorials for all of the way.
yeah, that we have to.
When I think of social gaming and mixed reality, I'm also thinking of the potential of uh, um, escape room type games, where you
Yes.
can build a whole environment and have the spatial anchors for specific items. You can have multiple people be experiencing the same thing and going around interacting with things. These types of experiences become much easier to create for just the average person. You don't need to have a full furnished apartment to be able to experience these things. Now you can just create them in mixed reality and still play the game, experience these different types of adventures in mixed reality. So yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, then,
a quick plug there. We did just launch a reference app called Cryptic Cabinet, which is a really cool like co-located experience that is in the same category as what you just described, John, and that code's available to
Yes.
developers on GitHub. So if folks are interested in this category, I'd highly recommend checking that out.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think then we have the second kind of area basically that we can also focus on, which would be hobbies and skill building. Yeah, any intro from your side, Winston?
Yeah, I mean the motivation for this is some of the really cool concepts that we're seeing where it may not necessarily just be a game, and it's like someone learning something in a gamified way. One of my favorite examples of this is Piano Vision. I'm sure that folks have seen the ads for it. I feel like there's been a lot of ads for it recently. You can either have a real piano, or you can just use the table in front of you, and it emulates a piano. And it's like Dance Dance Revolution meets playing piano, and there's virtual overlays of the keys coming at you to help you learn how to play. And you can speed it up or slow it down, and then you can pick different songs. It's a really awesome experience. But
It's
I think
super nice, yeah.
it is pretty cool. It's just like one example though of like a number of different hobbies or skills or like lightweight real world activities that all of a sudden become way more engaging when there's a virtual element to them. I mean, the one on the right that we were going to talk about for the capabilities is, what could a virtual pet app look like when, like the Tamagotchi of the future, so to speak, where, you can use the scene model, so the mesh that's created of the room around you, and as your pet navigates it, it can look realistic when it goes behind a table and all of a sudden it's occluded from your vision using our depth API, or when you throw a virtual tennis ball off of a wall and it uses object collision with the scene model. I think a lot of these capabilities are now like drag and drop. And so the gap is less on the technical side and it's more on the creative side. So I don't know, selfishly, I'm very excited to see what folks come up with. Any other cool concepts that you guys have in mind, Jod, Ashray?
Yeah, yes, definitely. I must say, first of all, with this Piano Vision app, it was very, very nice not to have to rely on my phone screen in front of the piano while playing and looking up and down. Now I could actually have the piano in front of me and look down at the keys and still be able to see those lines coming down. Now, when I started thinking of these hobbies as well, I like to keep plants. You can see this plant behind me. And I think that some ideas like, for example, having virtual plants that you can take care of, and it can tell you exactly how certain plants need to be taken care of, where to put them, how to trim them, and things like that, how often to water them. These kinds of experiences now can be experienced much better by having them in your room, and being able to interact with them on a much more personal level, I think.
I have to jump in there. So we had a developer hackathon with some of our Oculus Start developers in December, and someone built that exact concept. So
Oh my God.
There we go.
cute eyes would be overlaid. It would look like a virtual plant, and then it would speak to you in this like gibberish voice, and then it would tell you, like, based on what kind of plant it was, how often you would need to water it, and how much sunlight it was potentially getting, and like even knowing where it's placed within your room. It's obviously early days for that type of application, but it's a pretty epic example. I definitely need it. I feel like I've never been successful in keeping a plant alive. So
Yeah, I think like
Same
that goes
here,
for
same here.
90%.
Yeah. I think, according to me, hobbies or skill building using presence platform would be something like fitness. I would love it if there's someone who is actually in front of me teaching me how to box, or we have something that shows us how to punch and things like that. Then that would be super cool. So yeah,
Mm.
that's a cool
do you
thing
want
to do
to
as well.
make a quick plug for the body for our
Yeah,
movement?
yeah,
Body tracking
yeah.
API?
You know
I
what?
think,
Actually, two people can fight each other using movement SDK and networking and stuff like that. Jad, both of us can have a fight, or maybe rock paper scissors, and see who wins on that.
yeah, we've already done that together. We've connected and been able to interact, and speak together, and also do some basic things. Of course, we still haven't implemented more developed features, but you can see how it can be useful. Yeah.
True.
Cool. Yeah, let me just look at the time. But I think, now we can also jump to the last point, which is something I'm also really excited about, the whole utility and design sphere of mixed reality applications. Again, Winston, you want to introduce this, and then we can kind of like add our thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'll kick off, and then would love to hear about some of what you've worked on, Dinesh, because I know this genre is near and dear to your heart. And then also maybe a quick plug. I'm at GDC right now, and I met a developer last Friday at the Dream XR Hackathon in San Francisco, and he's building this amazing kind of like 2D screen app that allows you to, obviously it's like almost similar to Immersed, where you can have multiple screens out, but you can leash some of the screens, which is a cool feature he's working on, where as you walk, it will follow you. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of videos of people having 2D screens on Quest 3 while they're doing their dishes or doing hobbies, which is like, it's just a really magical experience. And he's taking that and building on it and using presence platform capabilities. So if someone walks by when their screen is in front of you, using the depth API, like the screen will be occluded. Or could you potentially anchor a screen to a wall in your room if you wanted to like leave a screen there while you're walking around? I think like this is an example of just something within utility that's beginning to take off. But there's just like dozens of other examples like this, even inspired from what we've already seen in XR. So if you look at what use cases were being built out with mobile AR, and even with some of our tools like Spark, virtual tryout, like putting your feet out, seeing what a pair of sneakers looks like.
It's so helpful.
Seeing what furniture looks like in your room. These things like were very popular on mobile AR, and we're kind of waiting for developers to take what we built with Presence Platform and see how it could be reimagined in Quest 3. So we've kept this category intentionally broad, but I think that personally this category could have the most potential. Dinesh?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the whole design, or let's call more specific interior design, is something that is super, super interesting, especially since before I went full time on Immersive Insiders, I was working in an XR company that was building a interior design solution. I mean, more specifically, we had virtual kitchens basically that we were constructing on an iPad basically, and then you were wearing the HoloLens, and in that one you could see the virtual kitchen in front of you built in real time, and not just in real time but also in the real size and measurement, which was pretty cool. And the thing that I really find fascinating in this one is not just that it's a cool experience, because there's like a lot of cool experiences, but this was actually helping business a lot. So we were selling to kitchen manufacturers or kitchen companies, basically kitchen resellers, I would say. And these companies, by using our software, were making a ton of business gains, which is kind of crazy. So they were selling more kitchens. They were selling kitchens at higher prices. They were having less churn. They were having all of these metrics that were actually like all of these very important business metrics, which were actually improved. So they had an ROI, let's say very fast, not to get too specific here, but they made like the whole money back of the development really fast, and it actually helped their business just functioning better. It got their customers excited, and this is something where I'm like super passionate to really see these technologies in actually solving business problems. And by solving business problems, I mean basically serving your customers in any better way and helping with that. I also have a video that we can show, and that kind of illustrates the point. It's just a small snippet of what we built. It's also not the latest product. It was some demos that we had, but that kind of helps you to get a visual understanding of what we had back then. Flavio? All right, there we go. I mean, that was like a 30-second snippet. I think there's so much more to this, but you kind of really get the idea. And of course, having something like this now with enhanced technology, with the Quest 3, where you can actually just like move these things much smoother with your hands. I mean, that is a fantastic use case. Maybe I should build a side business on this as well. So many cool ideas, but I think that is also one thing where I think that can actually also help to save your own headaches also. We just moved into this apartment a few months ago, and we were building some prototypes actually in Shape6, which is kind of funny, where we rebuilt the whole home in VR, and then on the Quest 3 we changed the colors of the wall, and because we were trying like, okay, is red too strong or is like black too much and stuff like this. So we're like testing out different color variations on the walls by using the mixed reality feature on the Quest to see how does the apartment actually look in this way. And of course, we'll do the same for new furniture and everything. But that is just like a maybe underutilized use case, and probably can use in so many more ways. But yeah, I stop ranting now and leave to Jad and Ashray.
I think
Oh, Jot,
you're
you
on
are on
mute.
mute, maybe.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yes, I am muted. There's one thing that I find really, really interesting about this category specifically, and that is the utility can really be envisioned by people from different backgrounds, right? If you come from a certain industry, that's where you can find utilities that
Exactly.
other people don't, right? So you will be able to find the specific things that your type of industry might need, the types of problems that you want solving, and then you'll be able yourself to create the solutions for them. That's something that's the most interesting part I think of this specific category. And going back to what you said, Dinesh, about being able to visualize things in their correct scale, I think this for showcasing products is a big deal, right? A lot of people want to buy things, they want to know how big they are, how they would look in their apartments, in their rooms, and this allows us to do that. um, Other than that, I can also think of you know um, setting up meeting rooms where you would be able to have stand-up meetings with your whole team, even if some of them aren't there physically. You can still have these types of setups where you're all together, even through distances. So yeah, it's just amazing, I think.
Yeah, to add on to what Jad said, it's if you think about it, say suppose you're an engineer and you want to show your marketing guy how your model works, you can bring it to mixed reality using Presence Platform, and that's one of the samples that you watched earlier. It's like
Ah,
you have
yeah.
a CAD model and you use your hand pose detection to get an explorer view. You kind of get a feeling for how it works. Now this can be used even in medical industry maybe. So if you want to show your students how the heart works, what's inside it, you can have a model in your room and you can see the size of it. You can probably even have make some cool sci-fi stuff like Iron Man. You just make your hands like this and you're inside a new world, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so I think these are also that you can. These are some of the apps that you can use. You can make using Presence Platform and bring all the virtual objects to your room.
Man, I'm really excited to see what comes out of this hackathon. Like there are like 1,000 people already. That's
I
gonna
think
be
we
interesting to
should form a
test.
team. We should form a team for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly, 100%.
That would maybe be a bit unfair.
No. So speaking of which, the judging criteria. So wanted to share this with folks. There's going to be 3 different ways that we're going to be evaluating projects. One is on the basis of the concept. Like, is the concept that you come up with something that's like different from what exists on the headset today? And also best showcases like what a compelling experience could be like in the category that you built in, where Quest users would engage with it. The second is use of the capabilities. So is the experience that you designed, is it only possible in MR? Or is it something that's like uniquely leverages the benefits of the interaction SDK or the movement SDK or the audio SDK or some of the other features that we have? And then last is just on the quality of the implementation. So, is your
Really
experience
important.
is it polished? Does it function? Does it work? And is it performant? I
Yeah.
think we'll look at these equally, but myself and the team here, Dinesh, Jod, Ashray, we're gonna be checking out the projects. There's gonna be a number of folks from Meta. We're gonna be testing them out also. And then one really exciting angle of this is for the finalists, all of the leading XR influencers or the ones that we work most closely with, Dilmer, Quentin, so Valem, XR Pro Collective, all of them are going to be testing out like the finalist projects as well and giving feedback. So it's going to be a really cool way either way to get some of your work in front of a bunch of people who have sampled a number of apps and projects in XR.
100%. And just to underline the importance of the performance, I think you guys don't want to make us motion sick. If this thing runs below, I don't know, like 70 FPS, then it might get a bit tricky. But I think like after testing, we had organized a couple of hackathons already, and we got like 100 plus submissions. And after going up plus 100 plus submissions, at some point you just get like sick to your stomach. So I think the performance is something that is so helpful also for you to have something that people like using. But yeah, I think that is also really good to know.
Yeah.
All
And I
right.
think it's easier to create performant experiences now than it was in the past.
For
So,
sure.
hopefully we don't run into that issue. I think trying 100 of anything either way is going to be exhausting, but we'll make it happen.
Yes,
Abs-
on that point, the projects that came out of my students who just got their first experience with using Unity and then first time using ever using Presence Platform, they ended up being performant without them even trying. So that speaks to how much better it is now compared to before. I think it will be
Totally.
easy for people to not mess it up. It should be pretty straightforward, and with our help, you'll be able to achieve even better experiences.
Exactly. Also, just for you to know, Ashra and Jad will be helping you guys out because we are also working together on this hackathon. So
Yes.
we have a Discord channel where you can ask questions and everything. And Ashra, Jad, they know these tools so freaking well. So I think you are in very good hands also here.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna drop guys and go back to GDC, but good to see you all. So excited to see what everyone comes up with for the hackathon. And I'll see you guys soon.
All right. Wonderful. It
Winston.
was great having you, and see you soon.
See you.
All right. Now it's the three of us, and we have a couple of announcements also regarding the hackathon. There are, by the way, just here, there are a couple of questions on the chat. Can you link the Discord and some other questions? We will get through all of those in a second, and we will link all of those things below as well. So don't worry, we see all of these comments and questions. And we have a dedicated QA session also when we can talk about all of those together. Yes, how do we ask questions via LinkedIn? Exactly. Armin, we can actually showcase these questions. So just for you guys to know, we see these questions and we can tackle those in the Q&A session, because then we can kind of run the format and then answer your questions as well. First announcement, for the hackathon, we do have a free Immersive Insiders course, which Jad created. Amazing job, by the way, on the hackathon preparation. So what do you know to get into a hackathon? For example, the MetaQuest hackathon that is coming up, we have some hard skills, some soft skills. We have the Presence platform capabilities. We have the tutorials there. We have sample projects there. Basically, everything that you need for making this hackathon or making any XR hackathon in one-stop shop. Jad, any additions to that?
I think this course will be really interesting for people who don't necessarily know about hackathons. You will get to understand how the hackathon goes, what structure it usually takes, and it will give you some important skills that you need to be thinking of when participating, whether it be breaking out of your comfort zone, teamwork,
Exactly.
or specific skills that you need to be working on in your team or on your project to make it a nice project.
Exactly. The hackathon prep course will go live, I would say probably around next week, so in a few days. I think the best way to be notified is to just connect with us via LinkedIn and YouTube. That is the easiest way, I would say. I don't know if we have a LinkedIn kind of thing over here, but let me just throw in my LinkedIn profile for the guys who are here via YouTube and Instagram, because that is usually the fastest way to reach us. 1 second.
You're the first
Here
search
we
that
go.
comes up on Google just by typing your name.
Yeah, I think you can just type my name and then you will also find me, no problem. Exactly. Wonderful. And the last or the next big announcement, and this is something I'm also really, really excited about, is we are in collaboration with Meta and a few other sponsors. We are creating our own hackathon, which is the first time we are announcing this. And yeah, it's called XRCC, XR CreatorCon. Really, really excited about it. Oh, let me just share my screen on the XRCC as well. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that is the first time we are talking about this publicly. So really, really, really big milestone. Super happy about it. It's a Berlin-based in-person hackathon in June 27th and the 30th. And we are super, super, super excited to partner with MetaQuest on this and bringing together roughly 150 people from all Europe for the for 4 days of creation, learning, and networking. Really, mostly having a good time, building some really cool applications. As you guys could hear already, Meta is happy to invest a bunch of money into funding some of these projects, and there will be prizes. There will be good food, good people, good time. And if you are in Berlin, I think this should be a no-brainer. If you are close to Berlin, no problem. Like, then it's a must. But if you're also from Germany or Europe, we want to help you guys to come to this conference or come to this hackathon. And if there's any way we can support you via helping you with accommodation or getting some recommendations, helping you with the team, whatever it is, we want to make this happen for you. And as you can see, it's starting very soon, June 27th. And yeah, this will be super, super good. We also have some preparation courses for this. We have the Presence Platform course, the XR Design Workshop, packaging. And the best way to get started is, yeah, first of all, the QR code, but I will also throw it in here. There we go, xrcc.events. And then you go to apply now. And in here, you can basically fill in some of the information. And then we have your application in. And then once we have evaluated the submission, we can tell you whether you're approved or not, because we can only take up to around 150 people. So that is why we have to do this application form and everything. And I would really, really, really love to have as many people as you as possible here. And yeah, Jad, Ashray, how do you feel about this?
I mean, I personally think that this is an amazing opportunity for people who might have already submitted or applied for the Meta Hackathon.
Yes.
This is the next step, right?
Exactly.
It's the evolution of that event. So if you are participating in the online Meta Hackathon, then this is the next step. You can go to apply to XRCC, and hopefully we'll see you on site in Berlin on June 27th for an amazing hackathon that is also sponsored by Meta and that has another set of amazing prizes. So use the Meta Hackathon to start preparing your skills, test them, and then apply to this hackathon as well to increase your chances of winning and making it to the top.
Exactly, 100%.
And I think most importantly, you'll get to network and learn a lot from others as well. And I think Dinesh has this very nice story of how he got his first job just by networking from an XR hackathon. And that could happen to you as well. So I think it's a very nice opportunity for us, and you should definitely be a part of it.
Yeah, so hackathons are all about the... Oh, sorry, Dinesh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, real quick. So one important thing, question that came up a few times already. So this hackathon is not for just Europeans. It is in Europe, but it's for everybody. If you decide to travel from any place in the world, then you are very welcome. I think then you're like even double welcome. You get our standing ovation. If you actually make it from India or US or some other place outside of Europe, I mean, that would be amazing. And So you don't have to be based in Europe. It doesn't matter. You can be from anywhere on the planet. But the thing is, it's not a online hackathon. It's an in-person hackathon. So you will only be able to participate if you come to Berlin. But Berlin is pretty cool. It's really worth it. We have the best food in the world, I would say. And it's super, super nice. But again, the hackathon is for anybody in any location, wherever you are. So now, Judd.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be an unforgettable experience for so many people who decide to participate in it and attend. Hackathons are all about meeting new people, getting this experience of building something such a short time, and hopefully something that becomes interesting to many other people, so that you can grow yourself and hopefully your career. It's going to be interesting to see the different industry people that will be there, speak with them, take their advice, learn, and just the whole experience in itself is going to be very nice memories for whoever decides to join.
Absolutely. Cool. So then I think I would open it up for, if we didn't miss anything, I would open it up for Q&A. So I think we also don't need to share the screen for this. We can basically just share some of these questions. So anybody who had a question earlier on and we did not see it, now it's the perfect time to throw in your questions, and where then we will basically answer them one by one until roughly like 15 minutes or so, and then we should be good to go. And I will just highlight some of these questions that come in, and then I think we can close this off. All right. First of all, can we attend workshops online for XRCC? That's a good question. I did not think about that yet. So since you're on LinkedIn, stay tuned on LinkedIn. I will think about having a way to live stream the workshop, and then people can participate potentially. Because the workshop itself is also on site, so that is something that we can consider. And then, yeah, exactly. Then we can also make it online. Next one. Is there any fee? So for the hackathon itself, for the XRCC, there is a 30 euro, so 30, basically commitment fee, because we don't make any money with those 30 euros, because this 30 euros includes foods and drinks and coffee for 4 days. It includes merch, t-shirts, pencils, everything. So there's a 30 euro fee, but honestly, you just see it as a commitment fee, because this includes all of these things that you also get, that you would also need to pay for. Okay. Hey, well, the Meta Presence Hackathon, is it? Let me just throw it in here. Hey, for the Meta Presence Hackathon, is okay to make fully. Man, that is really hard to read. So
Yeah,
let me try again.
What
Is
he's
it okay
asking
to
is,
make a fully
a full
VR game
VR
instead of
experience.
I think both is fine. I would
No,
say.
I think they said in the documentation, in their rules, that you need to use at least one of their presence platform capabilities, mixed reality presence platform capabilities, which is pass-through, spatial anchors, scene
really?
understanding, or depth API. Yeah, so this is a must. And along with this, you can use
maybe
interaction
I'll try.
SDK, movement SDK, voice SDK. Yeah, so those all are add-ons, but one of the mixed reality SDK has to be used.
Okay.
But for
yeah.
the XRCC hackathon later in the same year, you will be able to do a fully VR game if you would like to.
Exactly.
Yes.
So for the in-person XRCC, it doesn't matter. All right. So can we connect with you guys on LinkedIn? 100%. Asha, Jad, if you guys want, you can also throw in your LinkedIn. I had mine already, so I think we are good to go. And also, you guys, you can throw in your LinkedIn, so you can also connect with each other. So let me see. Quest 2 majority doesn't have MR. It has passed through decent quality. Could you give some examples of building some things using Quest 2 that utilizes PP capabilities? I think this is for you guys.
Yeah, so
let's see.
actually the thing is, with Quest 2, you can create almost the same experience as Quest 3. It's like you said, I do agree that some things like depth API will not work, but there's a hack for that as well. So if you download the mixed reality utility kit, that's a package that you need to create mixed reality experience. They have something called as invisible occluder. So it's a material that gets applied to your scene mesh. So imagine you're using Quest 2 and you have scanned your room, you have scanned your tables and chairs, right? When you use this SDK, it creates a virtual mesh on top of it. And if you use this material, it kind of acts like a depth API, but it's a hack. It does not work perfect, but you can still use it and make it into a mixed reality experience. It occludes virtual object behind your sofas, chairs, whatever you're mapped in your scene, it gets occluded. So you can still build it, is what I would say.
Okay.
Awesome. I didn't know that.
You see, you're also learning here. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other questions right now. I don't see anything right now. So I think we can really close this off. If there's something popping in, then we can reply to those as well. But I think otherwise, super happy to kick off those hackathons, kick off the meta relationship, all of these collaborations we're doing right now. The XSCC, guys, there's so much happening. It's insane. Yes, John.
Let's link the Discord link before we exit, so that people can find that and join it to get more of the.
Absolutely. Yeah, somebody just threw it there. Wonderful.
One thing that I want to say is on Discord, we have something called as resource channel, which I'll keep updating. So you'll find all the sample scenes, scripts that you can just use it directly. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, just use it, modify it, and then it'll make your life easier. So keep an eye on that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another question. Is the person who is waving in the utility and design picture remotely joining the MR environment?
Yes, I think referring to the first slide of yours on presentation, there's a person waving. So I think it was captured by someone using networking. That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And by the way, these are also things that Jad and Asha are working on right now. So you will also be able to learn many of those cool things that we will share on our LinkedIn, YouTube, all of those wonderful places.
So you can look forward to that.
Cool. Wonderful. I think then, long day, but really nice. Super looking forward to the next couple of weeks and months. And if you guys have any questions especially regarding XRCC, our Berlin-based hackathon, then definitely let us know. I would love for you guys to apply. Let me just throw it in here again. xrcc.events. Here we go. So that is how and where you can apply. And I think otherwise, lots of cool stuff happening. And let's close this off and have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are based on.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice time. Bye-bye.